Hello and welcome to another episode of the CIRS Group podcast. I am Barbara,
And I'm JC.
and today we are talking about community. And not just because we have such an awesome community. No, we're talking about just the general benefits of shared trauma. How's that for an intro, JC?
That's an intro. Um, so
Oh man.
this conversation was inspired because when we went to CIRS X, we listened to a really great talk by Dr. Mishley about Parkinson's, and they have developed this really cool app where they can track like the different lifestyle things Parkinson's patients are doing. And using this app, they've been able to predict like indicators of progression of Parkinson's. And one of the key indicators that someone was going to have like a really rapid progression of Parkinson's was if they identified themselves as being lonely. And Barbara and I both were just like, not okay. That's not okay. And we just had this immense sense of gratitude for our own community. And so we thought it would be really helpful, perhaps, to talk about it on a podcast. Also, shared
Yeah.
trauma.
Also shared trauma. Yeah, it's there is a reason why people offer communities and groups, and there's a reason why they are popular. Um, it's hard to describe unless you're in one. So I'm trying to remember back in the day before I had community. But it's just easier to go through something when you are with people who like you're already speaking the same language. Like JC and I don't need to like go into the context of a blood marker with each other or with symptoms. Like we don't have to go through the explanation part of it that maybe some of us do have to do when we're talking to relatives or friends or people who are just not in it with us. That's actually really exhausting. It's exhausting to have to just constantly explain your experience because it's just happening to you inside, especially if you're one of those people who suffering with CIRS and it doesn't present visually, like physically on you. Like I had GI issues, and unless you went to the bathroom with me, you weren't going to see or experience like my own pain. So I think that's where the beauty of community comes in and is so powerful.
Yeah. And especially for people, we see this in the group a lot, breaks my heart every time. Like they are surrounded by people in their life who don't understand and don't want to understand. Like there's a difference between like, oh man, I have to explain the context of this blood work or be really annoying and ask people to take off their shoes before coming into my home. Like there's that stuff, which is like its own layer of this is difficult. But then there's another layer of like family members who don't understand or don't support you in your healing journey. And so it can feel really isolating. I think by plugging into a community, you get to experience what you're experiencing without having to qualify it or validate it in any way. We understand. We have CIRS too. At the start of our group calls, we always say there really are no rules except please don't feel like you have to apologize for brain fog or difficulty word finding because we get it. Same.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It's definitely less embarrassing to lose your train of thought in the middle of a sentence around people who completely know what that's like and are experiencing that on a daily basis as well. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Instead of being embarrassing, it's just like we're all like, oh man, like
That
we
thing.
yeah, I relate to this so hard right now.
Right, right. And the cool thing that I've seen a lot in our I almost call it the school in the community is just being able to share anecdotal experiences as well, because we are all different things are going to work for different people. I know, different medications like supportive medications and therapies worked for me that didn't work for JC and vice versa when we were going through CIRS treatment. But it was still nice to even know they existed and to be able to go to hear about them in the group and then turn around and ask your doctor like, hey, I'm seeing like 2 or 3 people that I know are really loving this particular thing. Like, would that be helpful for me? And then your doctor can tell you why or why not that may be the case, and maybe you can try it. So I think that that hive mind, that ability to share multiple brains, since we all are operating on less optimal cognitive function anyway. It's really nice to be able to have that like shared advice and just hearing other people's experiences so that we can take that with us and see if it might be helpful for us too.
Yeah. And kind of along those same lines, even having the experiences of people who came before you to know that there's hope for your future. I was sharing in a class we did earlier today about how when I was first looking at my goals for CIRS treatment, I just wanted to have some pain-free days. I thought like I could live my life if I could have some of my days be pain-free. And that was my big goal for myself, was just some pain-free days. And now, 18 months through treatment, I have 0 pain days. Like I pain is not a normal baseline experience of my life anymore. And I never thought that would be possible for me, but it's such an amazing thing because when, we first started the community, we had one group member in particular who had kind of come before us and she was further along in the protocol. So even seeing how much she had progressed over time was so motivating to me. Whenever I had a setback, it was like, no, I see this person who has come before. They've had success. I can have success too. This is just a setback for now, but that is my future. And being able to see that represented and have that experience and that hope to look forward to was such a game changer for me personally.
Yeah, that's been fantastic. And you mentioned a class that was just done. We did JC did our first class in the group just this past weekend. And it's been awesome to see like how beneficial that's been for the members and how much they got out of it. So thank you so much, JC, for doing that. That was on limbic work. And those will be recorded and available to members indefinitely that are in the group. So that's been an amazing addition to what the CIRS group offers. I'm really excited about the future classes that we're going to be doing for sure. That'll be fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked a little bit about what we have in the CIRS group. So it is a community forum, so people can post questions, celebrate wins. I love it when we get to hear about people. Like people will share something and they'll be like, is this a win? And then they'll share something incredible that happens. And you're like, yes, that's a win. That's an amazing win. Like, let's celebrate that together and have that shared experience. We have group calls, we have classes, we share resources or point people in the direction of resources is something we're really strong at. And we can make recommendations for the experiences we've had with different providers or different supportive therapies, stuff like that. But there are other CIRS groups out there too, and they all have different strengths and, core values. So our point in this podcast is not join our group, but you should join our group.
But also that, yeah.
But also join our group. But find a community that resonates with you and you can connect into and have that experience and that support. We started the group because we were diagnosed at the same time and we were just like, thank God. Like, I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but thank goodness I'm going through this with my best friend because I just have this built-in support, and we realized other people wouldn't have that experience. And
Right.
so that was really the origin of our group. Was we were so grateful to have that experience together. We wanted to share that with other people.
Right. Exactly. And you definitely get, I would say there's you can also be a member of multiple groups. I think that's helpful as well because you get different flavors. Clearly, JC and I display our flavors pretty proudly, if that's the right word. You see it on the podcast, and we bring this exact kind of energy to our group. We're a little bit silly. We don't take ourselves super seriously. JC is a wealth of information. When she reads something, it is in her brain forever, and she regurgitates it at an amazing level. Sorry, this doesn't mean to be like a love fest right now about JC, but it's very impressive. And that's the kind of stuff that we can bring to the group. However, we also wanted to plug some other fantastic groups that we have heard amazing things about, and definitely want to encourage you to check out in case that might even be a better flavor for you, or an additional flavor to make your palate complete. I don't know where I was going with the flavor metaphor.
No, I love this because I've been thinking of ice cream this entire time since you brought it up. I was thinking to myself, okay, if I was an ice cream flavor, what ice cream flavor would I be? And then I was
Mm,
also thinking like, okay, the multiple group things is like that person who orders an ice cream cone and instead of getting like 2 scoops of the same flavor, you're getting like chocolate chip cookie dough and cookies and cream. And that just sounds delightful to me.
yes, that's a perfect analogy. I'm glad that you brought it home and made it more cohesive. The first one that we need to talk about is Judy Cho. Judy Cho specifically is responsible for the diagnosis of both of us. And we kind of owe our lives to Judy a little bit there because we really did not have any answers or direction as to how to fix our health until she discovered CIRS and she saw CIRS in us. So big shout out to Judy. And also she has a group. Hers is on the pricier side. However, you are getting Judy. You're getting not only Judy, who's a board certified nutritionist and has like just she has such a wealth of knowledge, has done so much research. She stays up late most nights researching things for her clients. She's seen so many clients over the years, mostly carnivore, and then it transitioned into, oh, wait, a lot of these people have CIRS. So she's seen a lot of CIRS patients as well and helps them with that. But not only that, she has a fantastic team of nutritionists. She has a therapist on her team. She has such great resources that she creates in-house. All of these things are available to the people that go into her group. And I think they have a couple calls a month. And again, you're with actual nutritionists. So it's a different level. It's just a different type of support than just like, hey, let's get together and talk about like our feelings and yay, we all have CIRS. Well, at least we're not alone and we're healing. Like that's kind of our flavor, right? And hers is there's more of a nutrition based aspect to it. It's great if you're carnivore and you're not getting that kind of meat based support from your practitioner. That could be a beautiful add on to what you're doing with your CIRS treatment.
I
And
would say,
we'll have a link to her group in the show notes too.
oh
So
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think Nutrition with Judy is just incredible because Nutrition with Judy is her Instagram handle, by the way, her
yeah, and
website
her
name.
website. Yeah.
Yeah, her website name. But she's incredible because she found out about CIRS because she was never going to be complacent. She was helping people with the carnivore diet, helping them work through these issues. And she just found she had this subset of people who were not healing. And so she kept digging and kept digging. And then she finally discovered CIRS and was able to just be this immense machine of CIRS awareness. We went to CIRS X this past year and she received an award because they recognized that she has done more for CIRS awareness in 1 year than they have been able to do in a decade collectively as CIRS providers. And I think that is just a testament to the level of support you would get at her community is she's going to keep digging and she's going to help people find those answers. It's much more, I think of her group as more of like a support through the protocol, like how to the protocol. In the sense that I know a lot of people who are going into CIRS treatment are just like, what the actual, because it's so much information, you have so much to get through, and then you hear about people stalling out and all of this stuff. And if you feel really overwhelmed by that aspect of it, I feel like being in her group would just give me this peace of mind of like, I don't got this, but I can learn about this, and Judy can help me get through this. And
Yeah.
I mean, in my own life, that has definitely been the support she's been for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you recently had a lovely conversation with Jenny. So if you want to talk more about her group, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, so Jenny Johnson is one of the shoemaker certified, what are they called? The proficiency partners.
She's like the OG, like
Yeah.
she's been around for, for this. Yeah, I don't know when she started, but she's been here and she's seen a lot for
Oh my
sure.
goodness. Yeah. So I think a lot of the CIRS providers, they either went through CIRS themselves or they like had someone really close to them in their life who experienced CIRS. And Jenny is one of the proficiency partners. So she does more of she can't prescribe, but she does the support work behind getting people through the protocol. And she's certified in everything. Like if you look up her credentials, she's like a physical therapist, she's certified in heart math, she's a proficiency partner. Like this woman does it all, and she's just a ray of sunshine. Like whenever I get to talk to her, I'm just like, oh, it's like you're laying in a sunbeam, is what it feels like. It's so amazing. But she just has such a heart for this because she went through it herself. And she has a couple different things that she offers. So depending on, the level of support you're looking for and how hands-on you want to be. So she does have a community, and she has the same feeling we do about our community, where it's just like when you are in a group and you're having that shared experience and you're just, she explained it like she just gets to like sit back and watch this amazing community support and encourage each other. And she feels like it's such a privilege to facilitate that. And I was like, oh, I feel that. I feel that. She also has a course, which you can take as a DIY thing. So if you just want to go through the modules yourself, and it's very practical. So it's like, what is CIRS? How to talk about CIRS to people in your life, how to get through remediation, how to. And she has all these different modules. So if you want to take CIRS as like a big concept and then break it down into these individual concepts and learn it at your own pace, and this really, she calls it nervous system friendly environment, because we know there are some CIRS resources out there that feel a little overwhelming. They might have great tips, but either they're provider focused or they're kind of doom and gloom. But she offers all of this information in a really supportive way. She also has the same course that you can take as a cohort. So she actually walks you through the modules. So if you're looking for more support and handholding, she has that offering too. And like, honestly, I would just encourage anyone to go take a look at some of her content and, bask in that sun ray for a little bit if you can.
That's awesome. And of course, we'll have her links down below as well. And I want to just add one little comment. Some of the doctors have their own groups. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember who does, but if you are seeing a CIRS practitioner already, or if that's an important thing to you, maybe that's something that you can ask or you can look for when you are selecting your doctor. But some of them do have some kind of group, or they will have clients in any of the groups that we've mentioned previously, and they can speak on like how they've seen their client do or how they like that particular group. So definitely that's another thing to talk to your CIRS practitioner about as well.
So if you are interested in letting me know what kind of ice cream flavor I am, please put it in the YouTube comments, because now I need a consensus on this. I have an idea. I don't want to bias anyone, but I do want to know what other people think our flavors are.
Since I only like one flavor, I feel like I must be that flavor, but like that's not necessarily true. So, I mean, comment about mine too. And maybe one day I will try a flavor that is not chocolate, but I don't know if that day will happen.
I was gonna try and guess, and then I was thinking to myself, like, oh, what could it be? And then I thought to myself, no, this is so dumb. You know what it is. Like Barbara likes one flavor of sugary things, and it is chocolate.
Yes. Yeah. It's so dumb. Like even if like I have the options, like the craziest I'll go is like, oh, there's a chocolate with like fudge in it, or chocolate with like brownie, or
Double
like that's
chocolate,
double
triple
chocolate. Like that's the one. Oh, I'm wild today, guys. Getting the one with the little chunks of chocolate in it. Yeah, no, I'm so since I was a kid, guys, since I was a child, that I'm loyal. I am
Barbara's like
loyal.
the best or nothing.
Exactly. Why would you ruin it by trying something that might not be the best? Anyway, thank you guys for being here with us and watching our podcast. We hope to see you over in the CIRS group. That's at thecirsgroup.com to join us there. And I guess we'll see you next week.
See you then.